The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate it all. The African is capable of managing his own affairs. It was a ghost in the heart of the Southwest. For years, the region near Kolokani was whispered about in harsh tones. A no-go zone where the shadows seems to move. But the era of silence is over. In a lightning strike that has sent shockwave through the Sahel, the Malian armed forces, the Fama have not just attacked, they have uprooted a sophisticated terror cancer that thought it was untouchable in Sahel. But finally, Fama has just kept them where they belong. Today we go behind the headlines to reveal the secrets of the stronghold that finally fell. For 5 years, this was more than a camp. It was a shadow state, while the world focused on the north. A dangerous coalition of extremism groups built a fortress in the dense vegetation of the southwest. This place was so dangerous to the point that what these people were doing there became something else. How did they stay hidden for so long? Fama intelligence revealed a chilling level of discipline. They used green canopies, tunnels and structures built under the roots of massive trees, invisible to traditional satellite imagery. They didn't use radio frequencies that could be intercepted. They used a network of local runners and coded signals. This wasn't just a group of insurgents. This was a professionalized death squad hiding in plain sight. If you haven't subscribed to the latest channel, please consider subscribing because here we unite the continent. But the farmer, the resilient Malian soldier, has a long memory. Following the frontline narrative provided by recent briefing, the breakthrough came through a combination of human intelligence and advanced aerial surveillance. The farmer didn't just stumble upon them, they hunted them. Phase 1. They circled the elite paratrooper unit and group troops moved under the cover of a moonless light, bypassing the usual rules to avoid IEDs, improved explosive devices. The second phase, they strike at 4 o'clock hours. The silence was shattered. Fama artillery neutralized the perimeter gas before they could reach their heavy machine guns. What the Fama found inside has shocked the nation. They discovered underground fuel depots and sophisticated communication hubs that have been operating since 2019. These groups weren't just bypassing through, they were planning a permanent occupation of the southwest trade routes.
Statement. The General Staff of the Armed Forces informs the national public that as part of the territory surveillance operations conducted this Sunday, April 12, 2026, Watanzi's aerial vectors of the Malian armed forces discovered a base of armed terrorist groups in a wooded area located about 45 kilometers northwest of the locality of Dijeni in the Kulikoro region. An aerial vector was immediately deployed to precisely engage the target. The provisional report indicates about 15 terrorists neutralized and the total destruction of their logistics. The Chief of the General Staff reassures the population. Coordinated operations for searching and neutralizing terrorists continue across the entire national territory. We remain in the same context and head to Timbuktu to discuss the end of the training of the Cebu Task Group.
The ceremony was marked by demonstration sessions. The audience was able to appreciate their intervention in the fight against terrorism. We learn more with Idrissa Gulu Sissoko, like Pasteni Nasya Tapama.
After the operational preparation before deployment, the elements of the Cebu Task Force demonstrated the knowledge acquired in front of the military hierarchy and the administrative authorities of Timbuktu and Taoudeni. Three scenes performed by the elements allowed the day's guests to realize the strike force of this GTA. The exchanges with the elements were significant, where they received advice from military and administrative authorities focused on defending the homeland using phones in the field, drugs, and alcohol.
I find that I was very satisfied with what happened, and it was a bit surprised with the way it was organized by the zone commander and also by the qualities of the men and the qualities of this GTA. And I think that this is really, it's an opportunity for all of us. Through your microphone, I thank the head of state, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, the President of the Republic, and the entire government, by the way. Really, I congratulate the Zone Commander for this quality of training taking place in the region of Timbuktu and Taoudeni.
Also, the elements who excelled during the training received encouragement awards, including the best shooter, the best leader, the best security officer, among others.
Look at what the farmer has brought out into the light. This is the evidence that the world needs to see. Logistics. Hundreds of modified motorbikes. The lifeblood of terror mobility. Technology. Solar power arrays used to charge satellite phones and drones. Documentation. Lodges containing names of informants and plans to disrupt the economic stability of the Kolugoro region. By taking down this stronghold, the farmer has cut off the southern leg of the terror network. This wasn't just tactical win, it was a strategic decapitation. They told us we cannot do anything for ourselves, but we can do it for ourselves. I hope that the leaders in the democratic elected by now would have been learning the tactics and the things that our leaders are doing in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, instead of uniting with these same people to come into the continent to come and provide us with security. When we know these people haven't been able to provide themselves with the security they always speak to the African. We must understand that our leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are doing everything possible in their power. And that is the reason to which every blessed day they are trying to acquire the necessary things that we need. The reason to which we are not able to take down these terror people is as a result of the kind of equipment that they have. We do not have them. They have modern things that people they are working for are making sure they give them to them. Because when you look at it in Africa, like Captain Ibrahim Traore said, we do not manufacture these things. We don't have factories or industries or a production unit that produces this equipment. How did these people get these things? How did they come into the continent if they are not working for other people? And always our leaders in the Sahel, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, the leaders keep telling us that these people are sponsored to make sure they cause destabilization. Aside that, we also heard it from the U.S. Congress telling us that they provide support for these groups, the Al-Qaeda, the ISIS, the jihadists, and you know all the names that they mentioned. So at the end of the day, these people are working in the interest of other people against the African. And this is to make sure that the continent is not stable. Because when we are stable, that is when they are not getting what they want. So they need to keep us backwards so that they can continue to be taking the resources that they need out of the continent. But thanks to the leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, even though they try to paint them black, and you still have Africans who are still mentally enslaved, believing the narrative of the same people who are making sure that the African is never free, and we don't use our resources to benefit ourselves, still championing and listening, and also keep on pointing fingers at the leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. But when you look at the good things that they are doing, there's no leader in Africa that is doing this. And that is the reason to which They keep on going after these leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. And we just want to say a very big thank you to our brothers and sisters who are doing everything possible. Even though it wasn't easy, a lot of lives were lost. But at the end of the day, we still have victory over these people. It wasn't an easy battle. It wasn't an easy battle at all. But at the end of the day, victory is for us. And we know it's not going to be easy because these people are not ready to let the African be. And we must continue to unite to protect and defend ourselves instead of sitting down, waiting for other people to come into the continent to give us the freedom we claim we are looking for. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa, West Africa, and in Mali.